I do feel that this does get easier with time, or I put less pressure on myself the more I record. Anyway, so the idea that I'm gonna have lots of different topics, brainstorms, ideas. This is more me recording my my ideas, putting them in folders so that later on, if it's worthwhile, then I'll create a video from these ideas, with these thoughts and ideas, and also I'll put the title of whatever it is and see how people respond. So, um, yes, this video is not. I want to do one about what happens when you're blessed with money, or if you inherit money, if I inherit money, or what happens if I win the lotto. Yeah. 'Cause I do play the lottery, and I'm sure a lot of people do play the lottery, and optimistically, I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who thinks my life will be perfect and I'll have no problems and everything will be resolved, and all I need to do is win the lotto and all my problems will be fixed. But and when I was a kid, I heard of people that won R1,000,000. Okay, with inflation, R1,000,000, and also with the devaluation of the rand, R1,000,000 is not what it used to be worth 20, 30 years ago. 20, 30 years ago, if you won 1,000,000, you could retire on that. Now, yeah, if you win 10 million, that's not even enough to really retire on. You can retire on 10 million, but you won't be that comfortable. But anyway, when my mom died 4 years ago, very soon after that, I inherited R1,000,000. So I basically won the lotto 4 years ago, which, yeah, last thing I ever expected was to get any money. I didn't know that I was a beneficiary of her pension, and that when my mom died, I would get some money. And it was the money, well, wasn't gone immediately, but and I do have a lot to show for it now, but I'll just, yeah. So, firstly, what happened when, as soon as, at first they let me know about it, and I thought, no, I'm sure my mom would have made, the last we knew, my mom had put my brother had pressured, my brother Adrian Wilson had pressured my mom into putting everything into his name, because I was going to most likely get the family home, and he was going to get the holiday house in Onrus Hermanus, our little, 100-kilometer away holiday, yeah, a place where where Cape Townians go on weekends and on holidays. It's called Onrus, and there's Hermanus. It's the Hermanus municipality. A lot of people have holiday houses there. People that have done well, they buy a holiday house in Hermanus and they go there whenever they can to relax. So my brother was getting that place, and I was getting the big home. And my mom was obsessed with being fair and equal, and everyone getting the same. So my understanding was he was going to get all the money, even if it was imbalanced, which was fine. But I was surprised to find out that I was the beneficiary of 1,000,000. My brother also got 1,000,000. He got 1,000,000 in 2021, and I got 1,000,000 in 2021, so 4 years ago. And immediately I thought, I'm going to buy myself a holiday house or investment property, a small one. A million rand won't buy you much, but I thought I'm going to buy something for 1,000,000 rand in Hermanus, and then me and the family can go up there on weekends. But then I had to sit and really be responsible and look at my cost of living and expenses, and there was, yeah, the funny thing is nobody has ever sued me, and I've never had any sort of financial drama with anyone until I had 1,000,000 rand. Then immediately my brother Adrian sued me. My mom's estate was worth about 14 million, 12, 14 million before taxes and lawyers' fees and executors' fees and everything, about 14 million, but maybe let's say 12 million after all of that. And it was supposed to be 50-50, half-half. But my brother wanted all 12 million of the estate. Everyone wanted it all. So I had this million. I had a dream of buying a holiday house and having that amazing blessing for me and my family, this amazing opportunity. And just I'd be so motivated to be able to go with the family up to our own holiday place, get away, and have fun, build memories, that sort of thing. And that was what I really wanted to do with the money, and think about my mom all the time while doing it. But yeah, so in the end, my brother sued me, so I had money. So suddenly, that's the thing. When you get money, when you're poor and you get money, watch out for. It could be your. In my case, it was my own brother, and we just lost our mom, and we don't have a dad, and my own brother sued me for everything. He wanted everything. He thought 6 million is not enough. I need 12 million, otherwise I won't be okay. And he didn't get it, but yeah. So once I realized my brother was going to sue me for everything, I decided instead of buying a property, I had a bit of debt, had some credit card debt, and some bank debt, and some hardware store. Before that, I had R1 million debt in vehicles, hardware stores, bank debt, loans, various other things, and I had managed to pay it down to about 150,000 rand through just 3 years of absolute agony and pain, and never eating out, never having fun, being a grumpy, miserable poop. And I managed to white knuckle, like through the just pain and agony, reducing my expenses, paying into debt, reducing this, and when I pay off one debt, then use that money instead of. I sacrificed a lot. I lived frugally. It was terrible, but I managed to get down from R1 million down to 340,000 rand. And when my brother was going to sue me, then we realized, there's no point in. Well, firstly, I can't buy a property because I need to hang on to this money. I need to have money available in case I need to make a settlement to him, so that he'll leave me alone so I don't lose everything. So then what I did is I paid the 340, even though I could have done it on my own. It was 340 compared to R1 million was manageable. It just would have taken me another year or two to pay it off. But me and my wife decided, okay, pay off all our debt, and that brought the total down to, I'd say 600 something thousand, 650,000. And then we moved into our mom's old house, which is quite dilapidated and run down. And I decided I wanted to run Airbnbs from the house, and renovate and fix it up and sort out a lot of things that had bugged me about the house during the time my mom and dad were alive. Do the things that I wanted to do, the little improvements I wanted to do at the house. So I put a lot of money, I painted every single room, I put in paving, I tore out trees, I did a little entertainment area, a fish pond, and I took some old doors that we'd removed from part of the house that are 120-year-old doors, and I installed them outside the kitchen and renovated the pantry. Did a lot with them, and did it on the cheap while making money. And then there was the lawyer's fees, so the R1 million went to pay off debt, a little bit of fixing up at the house. That's what I did. I had to be quite responsible. It was heartbreaking to have that kind of money and get very excited about exciting, cool things I want to do with it, but then have to be responsible and mature. And then I had to from that I paid my lawyer 125,000, but in total the lawyer's fees was around 250,000-260,000, and I still owe my lawyer 51,000, even though it's 4 years later, 3-4 years later, after this long, terrible, messy court battle with my brother. With my one brother, no, just the one, not the other two. The other two are cool. So paid my lawyer 125,000 from that money, and I probably could have gotten away without paying Adrian a settlement, but Adrian wanted everything. He decided that Mom loved Dave more, and it's not fair that Dave was in her life every day and spending time with her, and he just thought, I'll get the biggest, scariest, worst lawyer on the planet, and I'll get everything, and then my family and me, and I'll be sorted. I don't know. Don't ask me what his its psychology was. But anyway, so yeah, he wanted 2.9 million. Okay, so he wanted everything, and then afterwards was 2.9 million, which would mean selling everything, selling all of my inheritance and all my memories and everything my parents had built up to pay him out, and being left with almost nothing. And then it was 2.2 million, and then he came down to 1.9 million, and then 900,000, and then we finally settled on 400,000. That he would back off, leave us alone, not go on the attack. If we gave him 400,000, which would have still been a nice deposit on a holiday house. Yeah, I could have put 400,000 down and got an affordable bond, and might not be paying off a property, but anyway. And plus the lawyer's fees of 260 could have gone into that. So that would have been, and I could probably even find a place for 600,000, maybe an empty plot, and I could put something on there. But anyway, so the money was gone, and before I'd ever had $1 million sitting in my bank account, I would have thought $1 million, you could live on that for the rest of your life, and it's such an immense, huge amount of money. But doing a payment of 400,000 to your enemy, I don't see him as my enemy, but somebody who's suing you and doesn't really give a damn about you and just wants, and me, I, giving them 400,000 and doing that payment of 400,000. Wow. I mean, then you really get an idea of money and what it's worth. It's not, so all I would say is, if you win the lotto, or if you inherit money, or just watch out. I suddenly became a target and at risk, and I also had a lot of people asking to borrow money because they all thought I was rich now, and even though I wasn't. But the interesting thing I found is, so I paid off all this debt, and then I got this money, and once I paid off my debt, I took my foot off the gas, being frugal and responsible, and being kind of tough with my staff and not getting them in when I didn't need to, and being a bit of a workaholic. I took my foot off the gas with that, and I could see now at one stage I had 600,000 sitting in my bank account in a savings, and knowing I had a safety net and a savings, I was more generous. I was going out to eat more. I worked less. I was letting staff work more. Too many people work on a smaller job where it should just be 2 guys. I left 4 or 5 because don't worry, it's fine. So my behaviors, changed when I had a safety net. I had savings. I had something to fall back on, and I was noticing that every month I was drawing from my savings about 5,000, 10,000 here, 20, 15, 10, 5, 8, 20. So my lifestyle was suddenly back up higher than my income. I was having to draw from my savings to survive. I had a secretary, I had a maid, I had, I think, 8 permanent staff, when I probably could have gotten away with 4, and didn't want to fire anyone. I had too many pets, and going out to eat, my lifestyle, going out to eat, going on too many holidays. It was, I should have, looking back, if I had carried on living like a monk and scrounging and struggling, and I'd taken, and instead of the money that I blew, if I'd been putting that into an investment or into my pension, upping my pension on an investment, just some way. It's crazy just to think, even buying cars. I bought cars. I've always been buying cars, not expensive cars. I buy them on hire purchase, and I put down a big deposit, and I pay them off in 2 years. But if I could do that, if I could buy all these cars, and yes, in South Africa you need a car to get around, so it's a necessity. It's not a luxury, and I've been quite responsible with the cars I've chosen. but still, the 300,000 rand that I've dropped on a car, if I put that into an investment in 2 years, I managed to pay these cars off in 2 years, 300,000. If I put 300,000 into an investment, another 300 into an investment, another 300, another 300, then I can just imagine I would have created, in the last 11 years, I would have created 3 million maybe, 300,000, 10, 300,000 times 10, 3 million I could have had in investments and savings just through, anyway. But the car is also, for me, a car is an asset, a vehicle is an asset, a bakkie is an asset because I use it in the production of income. So it's not realistic for me, even though I feel bad about it, it's not realistic to say, rather don't buy a car and use the money that I would spend on a car and invest it because I need the vehicle to go to jobs and to do my work. But anyway, yeah. So I think this section is going to be about being savvy, investing. Maybe what do you do if you win the lotto? Retirement planning. Advice I got from my mom because my mom was a financial advisor. So yeah, brilliant. And didn't feel like filming. That's why I'm filming at like 9 o'clock at night. The last thing I felt like doing today. But I'm a very single-minded person, and I generally always keep my promises, especially to myself. And I did make a commitment and a promise to do a video every day, and not overthink it. I made a promise to not overthink it. I made a promise to do a video, and to enough said. So this is me keeping a promise to myself, and also just keeping this memory. And at some stage I'll get really polished and good at this, and I'll have short, to the point videos. And I don't think I'm going to be the like what you should do and you should this and then you know what you must do and then that. I think I'm always going to relate every video that I upload to my own experience and my own what happened in my life, and make a point of saying it could go differently for you. Maybe you, this is just my personal experience, and take it or leave it. I'm not trying to give advice. I'm I'm sharing my experience rather than giving advice. I'm not, Cool. Alright, well, it's Friday. I hope everyone has a lovely Friday evening. All safe, no drinking, no partying, no wildness, just calm, relaxed, happy. But if you are, that's fine as well. I know everyone has a fantastic, wonderful weekend. And if anyone's watching this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And best of luck. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I do another video tomorrow, maybe earlier in the day, maybe even just a car selfie, who knows. But I'm gonna keep doing this and see how it goes. Thank you. Cheers, bye.